expenses on the vehicle, if you could actually profit on a consistent basis what you're making from the vehicle, then it's a good idea, right? So you can go in, you can buy 3-4 cars, maybe that's a couple of BMW M3s, G80s, whatever, or maybe a couple Benzes, whatever, maybe a Cybertruck. Cybertruck's very popular right now, and a C8 for sure.
Facts.
So if you can get into a car that has an expense, whatever your monthly expense cost is, but it rents out and you're making some profit on top, and that's a good investment. Same thing with like real estate, right? So you can go in, you can purchase that car, and you can be making more on what you're renting out for and whatnot, and all that money will cover all your payments and everything. So in that sense, you're building equity. Now with the car, it depreciates, but you get to make a huge profit on top, and maybe you have more cars. That's how you obviously make a bunch more revenue by having multiple different cars and bringing that positive income over your expenses. So do I think it's a good idea? Yeah, but you do have to have the ability to do so. Whether you think that's like money, some people just have good enough credit to get in cars where they don't have to put much down, and they have great opportunity out there. But as long as you have yourself built up the right way, then yeah, you can create good opportunity renting cars. Same way you can with renting real estate out and whatnot.
Exactly.
So 100%, yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's a great idea.
Facts. Next, I agree with you, bro.
So what you're doing is awesome. With the background check and everything, that's awesome, because that's even like something I've thought about. Like, how do they just rent out to clients and they have trustworthy clients where they're not bothered by waking up in the middle of the night, where's my car at, wondering what they're doing, are they doing 140 down the interstate or not? You know, that's something you're going to think about.
Right.
So with a third-party company that's going to help you out with that, and you do the background check, driver's license check, maybe search up criminal record and everything, that's awesome. That's actually a very comfortable feeling having my keys in somebody else's hands.
Thanks.
So what you're doing is awesome. Seriously.
So pretty much how you said it, bro, is perfect. I'll try to frame it in a way like, okay, it's an investment for people instead of like, okay, you know, how I'm gonna get this money, or if I get a car, give it to you, like what's gonna happen. That's why I try to like, you know, break it down to everybody and just make it seem like it's an investment. Maybe you hold the car for like 1 year and just resell it.
Yeah, and then you can resell it and lose a lot less money on that depreciation. As you know, with all these modern cars, like seriously, you pull it off the lot. And a great thing what you could do with what you're doing is buy a car like a little used, maybe a year old or whatnot, then go resell it in a year or two. And man, you bought the car used, so you didn't have all that depreciation, but you might still have a little, but you're gonna sell it before you have too much anyway. So yeah, it's actually not a bad idea.
At least let's make profit with it.
That's smart, bro. You said resell it after. I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm thinking like hold it 5-6 years. Nah, man, get out of there.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
go get a new one. Yeah,
Exactly, bro.
hell yeah.
So with this information that you know, would you consider that? Like even if in general?
Yeah, I've actually thought about doing car rental services. It's a good idea. Even if you start on the low end of the totem pole, it's still a good idea. Even if you go get a Honda Civic and rent it out. Nah, it's not a C8. No, it's not an S-Class. No, it's not a Cybertruck. But you could still do that and still be profitable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's good for all people if you can get into it. But yeah,
Cool.
It's good. Hell yeah, man. You're in a good spot for it.